Hey, welcome back. We're here with day 3 on our topic of facing and identifying our fears. So we've already identified some of our fears. We talked about how Zacchaeus in the Bible in Luke 19, he was facing his fears. And today we're going to learn that Jesus just wants it. We can give up our fears to Jesus. So diving right back into Luke 19 with Zacchaeus. So just a refresher, Zacchaeus is a tax collector, super wealthy man, so means he's probably crooked, probably not a very honest man. And he was short in stature, so he was a little guy. And he climbs up this tree because he's curious about Jesus, but he doesn't want to be too close to the crowd. So he climbs up this tree, and join me in verse 5. So Luke 19, verse 5, and it says, when Jesus reached that spot, he looks up to Zacchaeus and he speaks directly to him. He says, Zacchaeus, come down immediately, for I must stay at your house. Pause. Jesus doesn't know this man, but Jesus does know this man. And Zacchaeus, he's a liar, he's a thief, potentially. I mean, I'm just saying. And he's not very well liked by the people around him. Yet Jesus calls him out of the massive crowd. Calls him out, Zacchaeus, come down. I'm gonna come stay at your house. I wanna spend time with you. What is Jesus doing? Okay, so let's keep reading. Verse 6. So Zacchaeus, he comes down the tree at once and he welcomes Jesus gladly. Then, of course, the crowd, so verse 7, all of the people saw this and they began to mutter. Now, I would probably, if I'm in the crowd, I would probably be one of these people, not gonna lie. So the people begin to mutter. They say that he is gone. Jesus has gone to be a guest in one of the sinners' house, the biggest sinner out of this whole area. Jesus chose to be with him, chose to call him out and say, I wanna sit and I wanna get to know you. What is Jesus doing? And the people around are thinking, what? Why not me? Probably getting a little jealous, probably thinking they're better than him. Why would Jesus do this? Okay, so let's keep reading. In verse 7, so the people were complaining. In verse 8, it says, so Zacchaeus, he stood up. And just because of this one exchange with Jesus, he didn't even have a conversation. Zacchaeus just heard Jesus say, I want to stay at your house, and listen to how that changes Zacchaeus so immediately. Zacchaeus, he stood up and he said to the Lord, look, Lord, here and now I give up half of my possessions to the poor. This man who spent his entire life cheating people out of their money just so he could get wealthy, he's now decided to give up half of his money to the poor, but he doesn't stop there. He continues and he says, and if I've cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay them back 4 times the amount. So he's giving up half of his wealth to the poor. He's paying back his debts and people that he cheated 4 times. So if he took 10%, he's giving back 40. This man's not going to have anything physically left. He's not going to have anything worth value left just because of one encounter, one interaction with Jesus. And then I love how Jesus responds, because Jesus doesn't say, good job, you're giving everything away. And he doesn't tell them, because of this, because of what you've done, you're saved. He says, you are saved because I came to seek after you. Jesus says in verse 10, he says, for the Son of Man came to seek and save the lost. Jesus is essentially saying, Zacchaeus, I came here for you. I came to seek you out, and I came to save you and your family. It doesn't matter what you did in the past. It doesn't matter what choices you're making right now. But because I love you, I'm seeking and I want to save you. And that's what Jesus is telling us. We have all these fears. We have these things. Yes, we're going to face big things in life, but we don't have to face them alone. Jesus is right here. He's extending it out to you right now. I want to exchange your fear, and he wants to give you peace instead. You have anger in your life, he wants to take your anger and he wants to give you love. You feel like you're rejected and you don't know who you are, you don't know where you belong. Jesus is saying, I want to take that and I want to give you true identity. But it starts here. It starts in our mind. As we begin to put the word and we read the word and we study it and we meditate on it, like Pastor tells us, we're going to see it come out in our actions. You're going to hear that you're talking differently. And yes, we've talked about it can be a long process, but for Zacchaeus, this was an immediate thing. He didn't just come down and say, okay, maybe in the future I'll tithe 10%. Immediately, after one interaction, one touch from Jesus, he was changed. And I know that Jesus is touching you guys right now. We have been praying for you guys. We have been so excited to see how the Lord's moving, and I can't wait to hear testimonies of what more you're doing and how God's moving through you guys. So my last challenge for you, be real. Give it to God. Even if your prayer is just, God, I need you to take this, and you don't even know what it is, give it to Him. Every little bit that you give to Him, He's going to give you something so much greater and so much more. And yes, it can be hard, but I encourage you guys, do it. We're here for you. So if you have questions, please message us. Please send out your prayer requests because we want to help and support you guys. But always, God is with you, and He will never leave you, and He'll never forsake you. Next week, we're going to be back with another topic, so please keep joining in and let us know how you guys are doing. Bye.